Congratulations, Lionsgate, you have officially made one of the worst video game film adaptations of all time. Let's give a round of applause, everyone. Let's get into the review. Welcome back, film fans. It is Brad from Let's Be Real with Brad, and I'm here to talk about the newest video game film adaptation called Borderlands that has been in the making since 2015, and it was filmed in 2021 and should have been released in 2022. So 2 years later, we finally get the Borderlands movie with co-writer and director Eli Roth behind the helm. This is sure to be a really fun, super over-the-top and bloody violent movie. Oh wait, this movie's PG-13? I thought the Borderlands video games were all rated M. Wouldn't that mean it would be rated R? No, that doesn't matter, because we want to make a PG-13 widely accessible movie that can gain a lot of money, right? But we don't care about all the violence and the cool guns and anything that's actually cool with the video game. This is one of the worst movies of the year so far. And I'm not exaggerating, I'm not trying to get in with the hype, because this movie has like a 10% on Rotten Tomatoes, it debuted with a 0, it has a D+ on Cinema Score. I'm not just joining the hype here. I didn't know anything about Borderlands besides the fact that it was based off a video game that was rated M. That was it. After I watched this movie thinking it was awful and it was annoying and it has one of the most terrible casting choices, I decided to look at some gameplay of the original game and some of the other games, and the movie is nothing like the video game at all. Let's just dive right into the negatives here. I'm going to talk about why this movie is really terrible as someone who didn't play the video games, and I have to start with the performances in this movie. They're awful. I mean, they are so bad that it feels like everybody in this movie just doesn't want to be there. Cate Blanchett, I love her, but what is she doing in this movie? She is fantastic in like every other movie she's in, and I don't blame this on her. I blame this on the director, Eli Roth. Eli Roth is one of those directors that has done some really creepy movies like The Green Inferno, Hostel, and from last year's Thanksgiving, he's worked with Jack Black with The House and the Clock Against Walls. Well, that movie was a lot better than this one. The reason why I mention him is because it is the director's job to get the best performances out of their actors, and all the actors in this movie are horrible, because you also have Jamie Lee Curtis that also won an Oscar, and she's horrible in this movie. She's completely phoning it in, and I don't blame her. If you're gonna be in this awful movie with this horrendous script, then why even try if no one else is trying? Then you got Kevin Hart. I mean, what do I gotta say about Kevin Hart than this right here?
DraftKings, stop! In your arms like you can disrupt the free throw. DraftKings, DraftKings, Pink Duck gets it.
Short odds. Kev, your face is delicious.
DraftKings.
Short odds.
Only thing else I gotta say is, you're the Kevin Hart of sports books.
Kevin Hart is one of the most annoying actors that is working today. He plays almost the exact same character. In this one, he plays more of a straight up character. Not a lot of funny jokes here, but he's just not well cast as the character of Roland that I looked up after. I don't know what they were thinking here, but he was just not the right choice. Then you have Jack Black, who is just one of the most lovable actors that's working in the film industry today, and somehow they found a way to make Jack Black awful. Claptrap is easily one of the worst movie characters in film history. I absolutely hated this thing so much. Just seeing a little bit of the gameplay, that is not Claptrap at all. And if you're making something different, fine. But this version is so annoying. He makes a lot of dumb and weird poop jokes in this movie. Even the other characters are annoyed with him. I feel really bad for Jack Black because he was trying. You can hear it in his voice acting. Ariana Greenblatt plays Tiny Tina in this film, and I thought she was really bad in this film, which is surprising because she was in the Barbie movie and she was pretty good. It also feels like Eli Roth, who co-wrote the screenplay, didn't play any of the video games. To my knowledge, this doesn't seem like the game at all. The whole story of this film feels straight out of Guardians of the Galaxy, Mad Max Fury Road, and it's just so infuriating to watch. It's not paying homage to any of those movies. It's straight up copying it. This movie also went 2 weeks of reshoots in 2023. So the film was filmed in 2021. And then after 2 years, they're like, hey, let's just do reshoots without the original director of Eli Roth. So they had the executive producer, Tim Miller, and they had a new script. So I don't even know what part of this movie was reshot, how much of this movie movie was reshot, this just seems like an absolute colossal mess. The screenplay for this film just goes from one scene to the next scene that it actually doesn't give this film a room to breathe for a second and actually explore these characters, explore this world. Like, this is your version of the character. There is just action after action and loud explosions and stupid jokes. Action isn't even that good. It's really boring and bland. The characters are never actually in some real stakes in this film. All of the villains in this movie don't do anything. I don't think there's a single ounce of blood that spews from a person's body that you can visibly see in this film. Like, that's insane. The humor in this movie is also terrible. I didn't laugh at any single joke in this movie. I don't even know how you could. I mean, the jokes in this movie are just terrible.
What do I do? I needed a gun, so you asked for it.
The visual effects in this movie are also really bad. Most of this film looks like they're filming it on a green screen with a big sound stage. All the costumes in this movie also look so fake. Every time they get into a shootout, the very next scene, they look absolutely perfect, like they have no sense of dirt on them. It all looks so jarringly fake, especially when you have a budget of $115 million. This movie shouldn't look bad, but it somehow does. These are the little things that many general audience members don't notice or don't appreciate of what makes a movie so awesome. And I hope it flops, because this movie doesn't care about me. It doesn't care about you. It doesn't care about the fans. It doesn't care about anybody but making money and making another film franchise. If you didn't know anything about Borderlands, this is an awful movie that is completely unfunny with a terrible plot, horrible characters, and I would not recommend watching this. This was an absolute waste of time. And I'm just gonna give Borderlands a 2 out of 10 because this is one of the worst movies of the year. So have you guys seen Borderlands? And after this review, are you gonna go check it out now? Let me know all of your spoiler-free thoughts. I can't wait to hear about it. Before you guys check out this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a like as you normally should, and ring that notification bell so I can see you all in a brand new video. I will see you guys at the movies.